Hi Year 7s, I hope you're well. Our lesson aim today is to mainly work on Little Rockstar and play it all the way through with the backing track. So Little Rockstar is going to be one of your assessment pieces. There are going to be 2 assessment pieces this term that you can choose between. Now Little Rockstar uses our high G, and some of you might be finding that quite challenging at the moment. Don't worry, that is completely normal. It will happen. Some people just find it easier to play higher and some people find it easier to play lower. So with that in mind, our last piece and your alternative piece for the assessment is going to feature some lower notes, okay? It's called London Bridge is Falling Down, and we'll look at that at the end of our lesson today. So during our lesson this week and next week, it would be good for you to start thinking, which of these pieces am I finding easier? Which one is most suited to me, okay? It doesn't mean that you won't be able to play the high G or our lower notes. We can still work on those, but you might find one piece is just more easy for you, which is a nice thing to be assessed on. So before we get started, let's make sure we get our cases flat on the floor, trombones together correctly, and then we'll meet for our warm-up. Alrighty, let's get started. Take your mouthpiece out. I want you to buzz 3 different sounds. They could be really nice long sounds for me on your mouthpiece. Here we go, sound 1. And another sound. And let's do one more and see if you can make it sound different. Lovely. Mouthpiece is back in your trombone, and our main warm-up today is going to be lip slurs. So remember, slurs are when we move smoothly between 2 notes, and in this case we're not moving our slide. Now remember, back to last lesson we learned Little Rockstar, and the first bar featured the notes B flat, B flat, F, F, which you should all know by now are all in first position. So this is a good exercise to practice because it will help us hopefully with that bar. So what we're going to do is have a look at our lip slur on this slide, and we're going to do the whole thing today. So we've got 2 twos, and then a bar of 4 tars. So we have 2, ta, ta. All right. Now, think really carefully about where we are using our tongue. It should be on every F. The B flat below it, we aren't going to use our tongue on. We're going to let the note fall to it. So imagine you have to keep the sound, you have to keep blowing. So like this. Okay, so if you find the second bar is quite challenging, you can always just repeat the first bar, but maybe give it a go and see how you get on. So let's bring our trombones up to play position with our slide in first, and we're going to have a go at this slur, okay? I'll count the speed and we'll try it together. After 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, Year 7. I want you to try that one more time, and this time just focus on your breath in. Make sure it's better than the time before, okay? Here we go, after 4 again, with a really good breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Okay, let's take away the slide now and have a go at the same pattern on 2nd position, 3rd position and 4th position. And we don't need the music because we're not really thinking about the notes. It's more about what we're doing with our air and our embouchure. So let's go to 2nd position, which we haven't been to very many times. It's in between 1st, which is all the way in, and our E flat in 3rd. So see if you can find that position, and then see if you can find this note. Don't worry about what it's called, just use your ears. Okay, so we're going to do the same pattern. La, ta, ta. Here we go. Remember, don't read the slide. All about our air. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Let's go to third. So this time we're starting on E flat and going to a lower note below that. Remember, if you're finding the second part of this little exercise hard, just go la, la. Just do 2 nice slow slurs for me. Here we go. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then last one, we're in 4th position and we're starting on note D, not the higher G, so don't aim too high. Here we go. 4th position after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. And rest position, slide locks on. That should be a really good exercise to get your embouchure feeling good, to get you breathing, and to prepare us for Little Rock Star, which we will start to practice on now. Last lesson, we made a really good start on Little Rock Star. In fact, I say start, we worked through the whole piece. If you remember, the first line is identical to the last line, okay? And then the middle line, although yeah, it's got some new stuff in it, it's only got 2 bars that are new. The next 2 bars are the same as the first 2 bars. And hopefully you have been practicing and it's starting to feel more familiar. So today we are going to try it with a backing track, and I don't want to spend too much time going over the same things we did last lesson, because like I said, if you've practiced, you would have done that yourself. So let's just look at the few points that are maybe hard moments. So starting with the very first bar. So we just did our lip slurs. Instead of slurring now, we are going to use our tongue on those 4 notes. So the first thing I want you to do is practice playing 2 B flats and then 2 Fs and making sure that we're getting 2 different sounds, okay? So it should sound. All right, so let's have a go at that now. Good. Okay, so then the next thing I want us to practice is our rhythm in the second bar. Okay, remember this happens in a few different bars in the piece. And we have a T followed by a ta followed by a T. So say after me, we have T ta T. Your turn. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Or if you fancy, if you're feeling hungry, you can say spaghetti. So look out for where that happens. It happens 4 times. Okay, then let's have a go at playing that. Why don't we do bar 2? And this features our newest note G, so it's a good one to practice. So we have G, G, F. Let me play it to you, and then I'd like you to try it. I'm going to make sure I'm using my tongue, yeah? Here I go. All right, so quick, over in a flash. Have a go at that bar, bar 2. Great. Let's move on now to the second line and look at the sequence of these notes. We're going down in step, but repeating. So F, F, E flat, D, DC. So all I want you to do, first of all, is just practice that movement. So we've got F in first, F, F, E flat in third. Make sure you're doing this with me, trombones up. Then move to D in fourth, which is quite a small movement. And then we go DC and stretch all the way out. Okay? Let's maybe have a go at playing those two bars. Let's do it together after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So I think we've covered most of the tricky moments now. If you are still feeling a little unprepared, maybe you want to pause the video now and just try any moments that you think you've not done this bit. I find this bit hard, I'd like to do it. Because next what we're going to do is put the backing track on. We're not going to play it the first time. The first time we are going to say the note names, okay? And the track, it goes on twice, this one. So the first time we're going to say the note names, and the second time we'll bring our trombone up and we'll mime and say the note names, okay? So we're getting used to the speed of the backing track and just going over those notes, okay? So let's, at the moment, you can just keep your trombone in rest position with your slide lock on. There is a little introduction. I'll try and count you in, and there'll also be a little interlude in the middle of the 2 takes where I will also count you in, and we'll pick up our trombones and we will say and mime. So hopefully that's clear. So we're going to do basically the practice routine minus kadai and minus play with the backing track. Right, and this is the first time we've heard it, so let's have a listen. Make sure it's turned up. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. B, B, F, F, G, G, F, E, E, D, D, C, C, B, F, F, E, E, D, D, C, and again. F, F, E, E, D, D, C, B, B, F, F, G, G, F, E, E, D, D, C, C, B. Bring your trombones up to your chins and let's say and mime. Here we go. B, B, F, F, G, G, F, E, E, D, D, C, C, B, F, F, E, E, D, D, C, F, F, E, E, D, D, C, B, B, F, F, G, G, F, E, E, D, D, C, C, B. Ooh. Oh wow, it goes on again, that one, I didn't realise. Let's rest position and put our slide lock on. So, like always, our backing tracks are quite quick. They take us by surprise. So that might have pushed you a little bit. That's okay. We are going to now try and play it, and we'll just do our best, okay? We've got a few more weeks for the assessment, so you've got time to make this even better, but I think it's good to try it today, even if we have to miss a bar. Try to keep going, that's the main thing. So, just a few things to point out. When you have a moo, your 2-beat note, take a look what's coming next. That's the most useful thing you can do. And for sometimes, for example, the end of the first line to the second line, we don't have to move our slide because we've got a B flat and then we start on an F. However, on that second line, when we finish bar 6, we finish out in 6th position, and then we've got to bring it sliding right back to F. So watch out for those moments. Keep looking ahead, use your tongue, and just enjoy it. So you know it goes around 3 times by the looks of it, but we are just going to do it twice. So we've got 2 times to be getting to know this piece really. All right, when you're ready, unlock your slides, bring your trombone to first position, play position. Make sure you're sat or stood with a really good posture and holding your trombone up. I will try and count in as best I can, and remember to breathe, okay? Let's give it a go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first. Well done. Second time, let's go for it. Here we go. That's the first. Really good. Rest position, year 7. Slide locks on. Well done for giving that a go. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect this week. We have a few weeks to be looking at it, getting used to the speed of that piece with the backing track. But well done for trying it today, and I hope you had some success. Okay, so now let's have a look at some of the new notes that we will be using in London Bridge is Falling Down. So far when we've been learning notes, we've been looking basically from B flat and we've been working our way up, haven't we? Like we're climbing the stairs. For London Bridge is Falling Down, we're actually going to be learning some notes that are lower than our B flat. And these are the A before the B and also another G. Yeah, there are 2 Gs. So in music, we use the alphabet from A up to G, and what happens is when we get to G, we don't go to H, we go back to A and we start again. If you think of a piano, think how many keys are on the piano. It's the same with the trombone. So every note we've learnt so far, there is actually another note. It's called the same, but it's higher or lower. So G is going to be the first one of those notes that we learn 2 of. So we can call this one low G just to separate the 2. So let's have a look at, first of all, the A. So this is note A, and it sits on the bottom space of our stave. Stem goes up, okay? And we play this note in 2nd position. So it's the first official note that we will play in this position, even though we did our little warm-up there today. And I actually kind of tricked you into playing both the A and the G without you realising when we did our lip slurs. So when we were in 2nd position and we slurred down to our lower note A. So let's have a go at playing this one first. It's very close to the note B flat, okay? So you're going to blow it in the same way. So have a listen, and then I'd like you to try and find this note. So 2nd position. All right, in your own time, have a go at note A. Good, okay, so next let's look at the G. So 2 notes today that I knew, it's quite exciting. So here I put both the G's on this slide. I thought it might be easier to see them both. So the low G has the line going through it, and this one's been drawn as one of the 4 beat notes instead of the tar like on the A, but it's still a G, and it's on the bottom line, so it's really low down on this stave, which is how we know it's a low note. And you play this note in 4th position, okay? So the same as our other G, the same as our D, we have 3 notes now in 4th position. So G, the low G is going to be the lowest of the 3 notes. And again, you want to blow this note like you would the B flat and the A. Hopefully you had some success with that. So just be gentle with these notes, these lower notes. You don't want to blow too hard. So have a listen and then you can try the G. So. See if you can find that note. G. Good. And then just as an extra challenge, you don't have to do that if you are finding that already quite challenging. See if you can find those 3 notes in 4th position. So we've got our low G, our D, and our high G. All without moving my slide. Have a little experiment with that. Okay, so before I show you London Bridge is falling down, let's just practice those notes a little bit more with some copy back. So I'm going to start on the G. I want you to copy back what I play, okay? Nice and steady. We won't use a backing track, just a few of these to get used to these notes. So I'm going to swap between G and A, 4th and 2nd. Here we go. Me first. G, A. G, A, G. G, A, A. G, A. Good. Well done. So hopefully those notes are starting to feel a little bit normal. If you want to pause the video and play them a few more times and maybe even add in the B flat as well, please go ahead, and then when you're ready we will just have a very quick look at London Bridge. Okay, so here we have our newest piece and our last piece this time. London Bridge is falling down. Again, this is a really famous nursery rhyme. I'm sure you all know it, so it's probably really help us play in this piece. So, first thing I want you to do is go through the 8 bars. It's quite a short one, this one, only 8 bars. And I want you to find every A and every G you can. So, the first A I can see is in the 2nd bar, the first note. And then I can see my first G in the 3rd bar, there it is, the lowest line, followed by an A. And then we have another A in the 4th bar, there is an A in the 6th bar, we have the G again in the 7th bar, and an A is our last note in bar 8. So this piece of music uses notes G, A, B flat, C and D. So we're not using our top 3 notes in this piece, okay? Just our lower ones. Now, because they are very new notes, this might take us a little bit of time to get used to. I would suggest you look at these notes really carefully for next lesson. So it's only 8 bars, we can work through it next lesson, but I would like you to have a head start and just get used to seeing what your G and what your A look like. We've also got an interesting dynamic in this one. We've got F, forte in the first 2 bars, and then we go piano. We have some quiet playing in the second 2 bars, and then it's loud again. So there's a bit more variety. Even though it's shorter, we've got lots of new things to look out for. So have a look at that for me for next lesson, and we're going to pack away now. Good job, Year 7. So carefully lock your slides and put your trombone away. As I said, your practice homework for this week is to look at this London Bridge and get ahead so that when we come to work on it next week, you already feel fairly comfortable with that G and the A in particular. I'd also like you to practice the Little Rockstar with that backing track, get used to the fast speed. And remember, start to think, which one of these pieces am I finding easiest? Or you might want to do the one you find harder. You might want the challenge. That's great. But start thinking about it. It's good that we're working on both of them, even if you don't do one of them for the assessment. It's still really useful. You've still learnt new notes. So good luck with that. Have a great week, a good practice, and I'll see you for our 10th lesson this term next week. Well done.